Hello, everybody. Today I'm here to share with you part two about my teeth story. So last time, as you know, I was in Czech Republic and I actually went to dentist only when I have to. That means when I have big pain for too long and I didn't see any other way than go to dentist to help that problem. When I was 28-year-old, I left Czech Republic. In fact, I escaped communism. And 8 months later, I came to Australia as political refugee. I was told when I was there, when I was here for 1 year, I was told to put my name in a dental hospital. I was living in Sydney then for, uh, so because it's long wait, so best do it soon. So I done that, and I had a problem with this tooth. My friend who was the dentist worked on it, and I never came back. And this is already like three 3 years later, and that's how bad it was with me. And so I went to and so I done that, and then invitation come. That was the day when invitation come visit and I was so scared. Since that day I got that news, it was maybe even 2 weeks ahead. I just wasn't sure if I can even make it to go. But true is, I had a hole here in a tooth, and it wasn't very painful, but it was give me some discomfort. And the food was some kind of parts of food were easily stuck in there, and that I didn't like. So and so I felt I better go, but the fear was too big to picture it, like to get that courage to do it. So I was wondering how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to go to the dentist. Plus, I believe the, the dentist would be better, but quality, but I still had that fear. It didn't help me, just that belief didn't help me to ease, ease my feelings about visiting dentist at all. So in the end, I come out with the idea that I will go to doctor and ask him, explain to him why I need a tranquilizer. So I went to doctor, the closest one, just walking distance. And it was quite experience altogether, but I would not get into details. But I went there and I told him like I need some tranquilizers because uh, I come from communism and I'm very scared of dentists and now I'm supposed to go to dentist here and I would like if they can help me, but I'm very afraid to go there. They just thought it's like unbearable almost for me to handle. And because it was difficult to get anything in communism and everything needs to be explained. So I was maybe over explaining myself, but and it took me by surprise. He just said, no, he didn't make obstacles. He just said, yeah, no worries. Da, da, da. With the thumb, he wrote down what I want and he just handed to me. And that was it. He walked me to the door. He was friendly to me. He said instead goodbye some diddly-do. And that for me was like, wow, that's amazing. It's just in a way I was growing up in like in a way army environment. There was not much room for freedom of anything. You have to really fit in that um, pattern which were which was considered for everybody as normal. And if you do something different, it's not normal. But also in Czech language, I use in English word normal often, but in Czech it also means usual, not only like not normal, it's like not even sign you can say, or in English, if you say it's not normal, I think it can have a different meanings as well. But in Czech, je to, it's just, it's, that's a usual way. That's the, you know, everybody goes by. That's what's normal. Je to normální. So it was for me very interesting to see doctor just not wearing the white coat, um, just the normal clothes and behaving so friendly. And so I went in the place to pick up the receipt for the tranquilizer. And I said to myself, I take one when I'm on a train, because I have to go on a train in the town and then walk for a while. Not much because it was actually next to train station, but because I went there for first time, I went early. I make sure, in a case I get lost, so I have a time to look for the place. So I took that tranquilizer. I never had one in my entire life. And I took it. And after a while, I didn't give a damn about nothing. The feeling almost scared me because it was so strong. It was like I was thinking if somebody cut my, if I don't want to say it here actually, because that's not nice thing to say, but if somebody want to do something really painful to me, I wouldn't give it them. And I was really surprised of the power of that. Just one little tiny white pill. I won't tell you what it was. I don't remember it. It's a long time ago. And scary, scary. And I heard from somebody who worked in the mainstream health field, who is in the doctor's reception, that I would be surprised how many people are on a tranquilizer, how common it is. So that information also really kind of took me by big surprise. I had no clue how big the addictions of the mainstream medications are. So anyway, this, I'm sure God is with me. I didn't know how those tranquilizers can be is dangerous because they so easily addictive. That means, if somebody don't know what that means, you take just say one packet and you already addicted. You want more. You addicted to that feeling it gives you because nobody wants to worry. But this is not the way to go around it. Yet it's common. Yet a lot of people do it, and yet a lot of them can live for many years. But how is the quality of their life? That's another question. So I went to the dentist, and it was lady, and the nurse was also lady. Maybe you call them assistant. I don't know, dental assistant. We call them nurse in Czech Republic, or they call them that way. Anyhow, um, so they were both very friendly, very like happy, chatting between each other. So, like back in communism, the doctor will say to the nurse, "Give me a knife, please," or just, whatever they do, some tool. Give me this thing. It They would not be like friendly chat. They would be only if he have a command to her what to do, and he just done it. And I think she didn't talk. Oh, and so yeah, this was already another experience in a different world. It was like totally, I was in different world. Soon as I step out from that aeroplane, unreal. But anyway, the ladies were both friendly. I was like very tranquilized. So um, there was nothing to worry me. So everything went really well. And the experience, the ladies were talking, joking. I was already in Australia over 1 year, maybe year and a half. So, understand something, understood some things, plus they didn't talk any, you know, heavy on heavy topics or anything. They were just chatting around about the usual things. And this doctor, when he looked into my mouth, he told me he's very sorry, but they can't save this tooth. And I couldn't understand why it's so big deal because I can really see on her. He felt it. He said it with the feeling, human feeling, telling me because I was only like 29 and a half. And he said like I could see she was definitely very sad. And for me it was not a big deal from 2000. So it's going to be gone. That was my attitude. And so, and also she was surprised that I still have the childhood feelings. I never look into it. I don't know why, but I remember that she was very surprised at that. And I had them, most of them, till, you know, I went till only 2 years ago. Hmm. So the way I was treated, I was told everything they're going to do, and they would not do anything unless they could see I really understood the message. So the behavior of the nurse, of the doctor together towards me, towards each other, that alone made me feel really safe. I know I have a tranquilizer, but I never experienced such behavior in such a place. And for me, it was like I'm being in a fairy tale or something, For me, it was like some fantasy board, something like I would never dream of could even exist because I come from such a strict and like military like, environment. So it was, I think that was amazing experience for me. And, they put me lie down on that chair when they start working on it. He said, if if you have any pain, any little pain, you just put your hand up. And I stop right away. Such a approach. I never experienced that in my entire life. Only from my grandma. She was like that, like. But usually I wasn't like told anything, just do this or do that, or how come you didn't do this, and stuff like this. Anyhow. So it was for me such an amazing experience. And the procedure, I didn't feel anything. I wasn't sick after that injection. I remember I told them I took the tranquilizer and why to the dentist when I come there first. And why? because I thought it may somehow interact with if they're going to do something, if they're going to give me that injection. Because I heard in the West, they give you injection. If you want to, you can say you don't want it. It was such a difference, that experience alone. I never forget that feeling I had in there. It was just, I remember even the details of the room. That's how big impact it had on me, positive impact. Even the nurses, even the people in the reception downstairs, so nice. Everybody is so nice. You know, not only people on the streets and in the shops and what have you, when you come across to them, but even at the dentist, even at that doctor was so nice to me, giving me that tranquilizer. So, and I believe that's one of the biggest reasons why why I felt at home here right away, because this kind of treatment, it was very foreign to me, as I was foreign to Australia. Mhm. So that was fixed, that was all right. They took the teeth out, it healed very easily. And I mean, tooth out, they took my tooth out. And if I went home on a train, I also first time I was writing there. Now that was second time, second time. And after, say, I know, I was 30, so after another year, after the first visit, I got another invitation to come to dental hospital in Sydney. And that was another amazing experience. So I remember I was 30, and so I was here for 2 years. And when I come, and the experience from first visit was so good that I didn't need a tranquilizer ever to go to dentist again, ever. And the ones, because I have to get the whole packet, I threw in a bin, because I learned that in a very young age. That's where those things belong. You may take it once in a blue moon, as me, I did in emergency, if you have to, if you really have to, but then throw the rest away. Don't get tempted. It's not worth the hell, because being addicted to those things is painful experience. I met people who were taking like 50 volumes a day. Imagine that. So I came to the doctors, to that room with the where is the dentist guy and supposed to be nurse. And there was like this older guy, the dentist, and a lot of dent dentist students. And they stand there like I was sitting on that chair, and they were all around me like that in half a circle. And so I was some unusual guys. And so I wouldn't know what they were talking about. And in that time, I remember I had a shaved head. And in that time, I had maybe that long hair all over my head. Only that long hair, this like very short summer haircut. And they asked me, the mine man started asking me questions, and he asked me how old I am. And I said 30, but because my English was much worse than today, not like it's very good today, but it definitely was worse. And I said it in a way that they said, 13. And they write it down. They write down, I'm 13-year old. They believe me that. But I don't blame them because I used to go on a bus, and this school bus, and, and on a school bus were the school girls in a school uniforms. That's why I knew they still go to this school, this kind of school. But they look like they can be 30-year-old. They were very developed and chubby and very lot of hormones. And I was told when I mentioned it to somebody, it's from food, takeaway food. Anyway, so they believed me. I'm 13. I was skinny, very skinny then because I was going through that phase when I was fasting. Then I shaved my head just because I didn't like how my hair feels. Nothing extraordinary beyond that or behind that. And so anyway, so obviously I was something whatever they were talking about. And then they sent me again after that talk. That was there like for about half an hour. Then they go and they all look in my mouth and blah blah blah. And when I told them when I saw he agreed like 13 and said 13, I understand he's not saying 30. So I said, you have it wrong. I'm not 13. I am 30. And they all went like, they could not believe that I was 30-year old. They would believe that I was 13. So that was for me big compliment then. And see such a positive experience at dentists. You even get this kind of not direct but compliment. And so then they said, I'm going to go to another dentist. They sent me to have something else done with my teeth, and they were working on those two. something. Because remember, I also let that go to pain never come back really big, so I never went back to dentist. But true is, when I came to Sydney, they fixed a lot of my teeth. I really don't remember how many, maybe. I remember those two because they were the biggest problem. Then there was some other one. I think they were taking some of those childhood fillings out and giving me different ones. So I went there a few times. I remember that. But not too many. Once I even ran into a friend. We got lost in Yugoslavia. But we just met them after we escaped communism. We met them in Yugoslavia. Then we went to Austria. We lost them contact, and then I ran into him. There was couple, so in the man of the couple, I ran into the dental hospital in Sydney. But the friendship didn't last long. But it was good while it lasted. So that was so, and they sent me to other procedure the same day. They told me what they're going to do. They did those teeth. And what happened, because when I go out, I don't eat. And because I was taking that tranquilizer, that first visit, I didn't want to take it on an empty stomach, and it was already later on in the day. I ate something. I would say bananas, because, they last. And they really give me energy, and which lasts for a while. That's banana for me is excellent fruit. And so at, at the dentist, the second time, it was early in the morning. I didn't eat anything, and when I went to that procedure, I forgot to mention it, and they gave me injection, and I was going to sleep. And I told them, "Oh, I'm going to sleep." "Don't go sleep, don't go sleep." They start shaking me, slapping me. Um, then they ask, "Did you have a breakfast?" I'm saying no. And then they gave me this soya milk thingy, little one, little box it, obviously full of sugar. So who knows what else? Plastic from the box, metal from the box. But I did sip on it, they gave it to me with the straw, this pop thing. I never seen that in my life before. And so I sip on it slowly, and as I woke up and then did the procedure. But it was interesting for me to see how they freak out that I was going to sleep. They freak out, they overdose me. And since then, in the future, anything like this I need to take, like injection, or I have to take even sometimes the half of painkiller. This is like so dangerous for me that I'm saying to people now, always, if I take something, I'm oversensitive, I'm hypersensitive to any chemicals, and I spoke with my relatives, some from my mom's side, and they also some of them saying they, like me, very sensitive to any chemicals, medications or May be cosmetics, what have you, any chemicals in the paints and stuff, even the air conditioning. So I went for a few more visits. In that dental hospital, it was just child's play. Child's play, it was easy for me. Everybody was always nice to me, treating me with respect, and everything they done to me, I could not complain. And because I was still young, and I go there like once in, say, 2 months, my body easily dealt with the, the local anesthetics. I was getting through that dental procedures. So, and then I didn't go to dentist for at least I was 28, 38, 48. Actually, I went soon after. Just wait a minute, second, please. I was, yes, in Western Australia, only a year later, and I was eating something, some fruit, which is not so soft. Say, for example, like apple. And this, those two front teeth, since my 15-year-old, each time I go to dentist, they always done on it something. And I bite in it, and part of the tooth, like, off, chipped off. So I have that's like, I don't know how big piece, say, reasonable, not too big, but reasonable big enough. And one of the guys there in a community, we were living in a very small community, very small town, beautiful place, beautiful community, Western Australia, good memories. And so the one guy, he said, I have a really good dentist, blah, 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 blah. I have to go there too. Uh, I take you with me. He's like my friend. You don't need an appointment. We just take you, will take you, like include you in my appointment kind of thing. I hope this is not something illegal. I have I have my Medicare, so it was just about the appointment thing. So anyhow, so we went there, and the man was also very nice, very good. Oh, there's no worry, we can fix for you, no problem. You're going to be pretty enough as before, blah blah. And also very good experience, always friendly, also very human. And when he was giving me injection, I can feel something drop on my tongue. And he said it. He said, oops, little bit leaked out, like it dropped in my mouth. And then he like said, oh well, kind of thing. He stopped worrying about it because he realized it's done so. And I didn't think nothing about it because I didn't felt any difference. So he finished the work, blah, blah, blah. My friend went first. So I was last. And as soon as they finished do my teeth, we went back home. We have to drive, at least 1 hour and a half one way. Because we lived in a real, middle of the nowhere. So we're going home, and suddenly I started hallucinating. But it was like beautiful, gentle hallucination. We were going through the bush, the eco forest. You have everywhere those gum trees and different kinds of gum trees and bushes and everything, and just beautiful Western Australia, the beautiful bush with these huge banksias and stuff, they flowers. Anyhow, and I saw like blue light from the trees. There was like this blue, radiant energy coming out. Like the aura, I saw this blue aura of the tree. It was the colors were just magical. And it was mainly blue and pink. And I was like, woo, so high and so happy. And that friend was saying, what happened? And I said, so I told him something dropped on my tongue when the dentist was giving me the injection. And he even said, oops. And worried first, but then he let go. And my friend said, well, next time I go there, I ask him to give it to me too. He wanna experience what I was experiencing. And I was most of that ride fully like, on a cloud nine, uh, seeing nature with the different from the different angle. And yeah, it was totally interesting experience how little bit of something can affect our brain, that we can see things. The people who didn't have that little bit of something, they don't see it. They just can't because they don't have that chemical in their body. And that's what I always saying. It's about the chemicals. Sometimes you put just a little bit. People say, oh, little bit, it's okay, little bit. No, it's not okay. And if you have to take just a little bit, then you take extra care. Make sure it gets out of you ASAP. So you may do more exercising, for example, you know, eating more fruit which clears you more, or even add some herbal tea which will help to clean your bloodstream, support that. Because if you put rubbish somewhere, it's filthy, and you have to clean that filth. If you don't clean the filth, it builds up. That's what happened with my teeth. I didn't clean them properly. I didn't clean the filth on them, and I had a problem with them. I cleaned them, but not all the time and not properly. Only in Sydney, at the first visit dentist, she told me she saw on my teeth, she recognized that I cleaned my teeth wrong way, and she told me that not to clean teeth this way, but this way. So I was 28 years old when I learned how to properly clean my teeth. But true is, especially at night when I was tired, especially when there was drinking nights back in communism, I would not clean my teeth like religiously. Here in Australia, it was a bit better because I didn't drink alcohol, and thanks to the fruit diet, or it's not even diet, the fruit way of life, I, jak se tomu říká, I, everything was good, everything was positive, and I have more energy to, not only energy, but I have a stronger will to look after myself. So I did clean my teeth, but when we were camping and stuff, sometimes I used to skip it too because we may not have enough water or whatever reason. When you camp, when you with minimum things, sometimes things like this happen. So I didn't have any teeth problem for a long time after this front chip tooth, and I don't know. I have to think about it. When I have to go again to dentist. Yeah, there were another problem. I go to dentist. I was that was after Western Australia, so say 31, but 34. I got again something with some pain. It wouldn't go away. And I went to dentist and he said it's no problem, it just needs a good cleaning. I for some reason don't clean that spot very well. And so he made me more aware of that. I don't know, maybe some funny groove there or something. So I was happy and actually nothing was done to me. It was just told me this. And so before it healed, it was getting sore sometimes. During the healing, there was some obviously something with the gum, not the tooth alone. So I used to apply the aloe vera leaf. I will just cut it and insert it inside with the gel facing the gum and the teeth, and that will always help the healing process, speed the healing process, and it will also free me from the pain. The pain would go away. On the beginning, always when I put it on anything, I use it on anything like this, any small injuries, and when it in an annoying place and I wanna heal them fast, that's why I use it. So that aloe also helped me many times to ease the pain and speed up the healing if I have any problems, you know, dental problems, and that made me to postpone any future visits to dentist, but I'm sure I still went once more to dentist, but I was about 45, and it was just some little hole somewhere need to be filled up. Maybe here is something. Most of the time, most of the problems were here. And yeah, what's the time? Excuse me. Well, a bit ago. And I tell you, follow up next time because yeah, I still went to dentist and it was always very different. It was usually at a different place. Only in Sydney on the beginning, I went to the same place, but never to the same dentist. So I met few different people. They were all very nice. They will always treat me with respect, tell me everything they're going to do to me, and by explaining everything, they all told me if I feel pain, put the hand up, and they will stop right away. All new to me, very pleasant experience, so pleasant, such a contrast that it healed my fear to go to dentist, but it didn't heal my fear of, oh, something's going to get wrong with my teeth and I'm going to have a pain. Not that I would worry like this all the time, but when something start happening, I never like it, I start feeling like I'm more fear than what I'm going to experience before I have to go to them. Anyway, Nick, I don't want to get too tangled up. I think I'm tangling up. So I may go. It's always great to see the comments. And some people, when they don't come and comment for a while, they usually regular. That I always wonder, if they okay and or if I didn't offend them with something I said. And I hope they come again. And it's just, even I don't know you, I never see you, I know you only from your comments. A lot of you just growing on me, and yeah, it's just like you being part of my life now. And thank you for every beautiful comments you sending me. I appreciate it deeply from all my heart. I'm so thankful for your love and support, your understanding, and your interest in what I want to share here with you. This all means a lot to me. And remember the love. That love gives you more satisfaction than hate. It does. To cultivate love, give love, even if you don't receive it, just keep giving it. It feels good. Sometimes, if, if I'm not getting enough back, I sometimes feel like this is not fair. But I snap out of it very fast because that love is in me. I'm carrying it with me, and nobody can take that from me. So even if somebody doesn't have that love for me, obviously, so be it. So be it. I can't lose my sleep over it. And I believe we all want to be loved and we all want to love. Sometimes people don't know how. Sometimes people, they may have a different reason not to be able to express the love they feel. But this is important to work on, to cultivate love share it, give it, and receive it. And that is the best thing. If you have that in your life, you are very, very person. I wish you all best, and I hope to see you here next Friday again. Thank you again. Thank you. Lots of love and hugs.